Visions, I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and gonna create the most viral knockout ever. Sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up, warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass.
Impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
Gervonta Tank. Davis erupted after Jake Paul allegedly claimed he'd knock him out in just 3 rounds, a taunt that instantly raised the stakes of an already explosive buildup. Critics and insiders agree this fight places Davis's entire reputation on the line. It's rare for a boxer of his caliber to take on such a controversial matchup, and a loss here would raise serious doubts. But if Davis can overcome the hype, size, and power advantage Jake brings, it could become one of the defining victories of his career, a moment fans would remember forever.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch a lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Aldrey, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy, if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Paul has raised the tension even higher by boldly declaring that he'll deliver the knockout of the year when he faces Gervonta Davis. For him, this isn't just another payday, and it's a statement. Jake wants the kind of moment that dominates headlines and shocks the boxing world. His public comments show he views this fight as his opportunity to silence critics, legitimize his boxing career, and cement himself in the sport's narrative. By chasing a spectacular knockout, Jake is betting not only on his power but on his showmanship, turning the fight into something much bigger than just a win or loss.
Fighters, because this thing is going to be watched by hundreds of millions globally. Jake, give the people one thing that you can guarantee that they're going to get on November 14th when they tune in to Netflix.
Yeah, you're gonna see the 2 biggest fighters in America go head-to-head with an amazing card. World championship fights back to back to back. And that's just how the MVP way we do it. And I'm gonna come for a knockout of the year again. I've seen it in my visions. I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and gonna create the most viral knockout ever.
Orlando. Rolly Romero has weighed in on the potential fallout if Jake Paul somehow knocks out Gervonta Davis, saying it wouldn't damage Tank's legacy the way people think. He reminded critics that Davis is already a 3-division world champion and one of the most feared fighters in boxing today. Through Instagram reels and interviews, Romero emphasized that one fight, or even a shocking loss, can't erase years of dominance, belts, and achievements that Tank has already earned.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong.
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Ero's take on the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis clash is refreshingly grounded. He insists that regardless of the outcome, Tank's place in boxing history is secure. As a multi-division champion, he's already proven his worth. Still, Romero acknowledges that Paul's size advantage is real and can't be dismissed. The physical difference gives Jake a certain edge, but it doesn't erase what Davis has built through years of hard work, precision, and championship experience.
Too big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, like, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, like, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
Daniel Cormier was visibly stunned when he learned Davis had agreed to fight Jake Paul. In a recent clip, DC called the matchup ridiculous, questioning why a world-class pro like Tank would step into the ring with an influencer boxer. He admitted that he never imagined someone of Davis's stature would take this route. Cormier also expressed deep concern about the size and power gap, warning that such a spectacle could overshadow the integrity of Tank's legacy and the sport itself.
I swear to God, I was on a plane coming home from Las Vegas when Luis told me Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul. I said, get the bleep out of here. I said, you're a bleep liar. Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. Gervonta Davis is that much better than Jake Paul at boxing. But Gervonta Davis in his last fight weighed 133.8 pounds. And I'm not over here in the business of just crapping on Jake Paul. I am much more respectful of what he's starting to build as a professional boxer. You're fighting a guy that's better than you. He's just much smaller. But that guy, because he's better than you, what if he wins? Everything Jake Paul has done is wiped completely out. Gervonta Davis loses to Jake Paul. Obviously, it's going to hurt who Gervonta Davis is. But he lost to a guy that's going to be upwards of 70 pounds bigger than him when he steps into the boxing ring. But I will tell you this right now, without a shadow of a doubt. I will watch this. Tank Davis is 30-0-1. You want to talk about Jake Paul fighting a real boxer? That's a real boxer. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's true. They're fighting.
KSI also criticized how hype and spectacle have overtaken substance in these crossover events, saying they blur the line between sport and entertainment. In a recent video, he accused Jake Paul of damaging influencer boxing, suggesting that his promotional tactics rely more on controversy than competition. KSI believes the sport risks losing authenticity when fighters prioritize viral moments over genuine skill and discipline.
AJ and Jake was never gonna happen.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was actually gonna happen? Bro, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like so many people just believe everything.
But that's pretty unbelievable on the other hand.
I feel like I know. Well, okay, how do I say it like this? Itoma versus White. I had a lot of people bet on White winning. And I'm there like, you guys don't watch boxing, do you? You just look at a record and go, oh, Dylan's fought many more people than Itoma. That record says a lot. Itoma's like 18, not 18, Itoma's 20, inexperienced, one. Like, I just knew Itoma was gonna just destroy him. And I think a good fight for Itoma would be him and Wilder.
Veteran boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies echoed those concerns, describing Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis as yet another example of boxing prioritizing spectacle over substance. He highlighted the glaring weight difference and the exhibition label, arguing that both elements undermine the sport's fairness and credibility. According to Davies, while the fight will surely attract mainstream attention and massive pay-per-view numbers, It also risks pushing boxing further toward entertainment and away from athletic purity.
Signed. I think we've gone out of the frying pan and into the fire because we thought we were going to get Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua very soon. We'll speak to Frank Smith about that in the next section, obviously. Eddie Hearn was teasing it to me personally last week, £80 million on the table for Anthony Joshua to fight Jake Paul. But 8 inches in height difference, 7 weight divisions between them, 5 stone, 70 pounds between them. It's a joke. It's a circus fight as opposed to a disgrace of a fight, which was Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. At least you feel in this, you've got quite a poor, very big one against a pound-for-pound, brilliant, unbeaten little un. And the little un who'll come up to his navel will hit him with a lot of body shots. I said in the week to Danny Kelly and Charlie Brooker that, do I mean Charlie Brooker? No,
Baker.
Charlie Baker. That Charlie Brooker's a different person altogether. That he'll be throwing the Superman punch, the leaping left hook. It's going to be a very odd thing. It's called, in inverted commas, an exhibition bout. But everybody in boxing who is a name doesn't mind going in with Jake Paul because they know they're making millions of dollars. And that's the only reason that Gervonta Davis, who's being called the poison little elf by Jake Paul, and it'll be fun in the build-up. Everybody in boxing knows they're guaranteed to make millions of those silverbacks, those greenback notes that they give out in America, and they give them out for fun when Jake Paul fights. So he's not going to say no to it. But can you pick a winner in that fight?